when resistance comes up, when shadow comes up, when you're faced with a part of yourself or an aspect of yourself, or even, something happens in your environment that really throws you off your game or triggers you in some way, creates this kind of, I call it dissonance. It creates dissonance in your vibration, in your vibratory field. It's disturbing. Like, you don't feel good about it. You're upset. Maybe you're grumpy. When something like that happens, what's really happening is you are being gifted the opportunity to face something that is not in alignment with your highest and greatest good. Okay? That's all it is. It isn't the universe punishing you. It isn't whatever the external physical 3D situation is. It isn't that. I mean, it's a manifestation of that. It's an example of that in your environment so that it makes sense to your mind. But what it really is, if you could look at what really is happening, it's a vibrational dissonance. Okay? So what I'm learning and what I'm really embracing is this idea of being thankful. And this is powerful. When you can do this, when you can be grateful for these situations when they appear. Because what do? They gift you with the opportunity to deal with this, finally. They gift you with the opportunity to resolve the issue. They gift you with the opportunity to become aware of where you're, usually for me, it's my thinking or my belief system. So it gives you the opportunity to really think about where your thinking, your belief system, your emotions, like if you're holding on to pain, those sorts of things, to become aware of those things so that you can release them, right? Release your blocks, restore your flow so you can return to an aligned state of being, so you can return to aligning with your truth, what your soul truly believes, not what you've been told is possible or told is going to happen, but really believing your truth, realigning with that, and then what? Reclaiming that joy. Those are like the pillars of what Awakened Creators does. We're going to release blocks, restore flow, and reclaim joy. That's our job. And we do it constantly, right? But the thing about it is that most folks who get faced with these blocks in their environment fall into self-judgment, or they fall into projecting that self-judgment on someone else, so starting to judge someone else. They fall into victim mentality where they're reliving their pain. They're accepting that pain body as truth instead of releasing that as the past. So there's all sorts of things that you can latch onto inappropriately when faced with dissonance. But I'm telling you, the real reason it's showing up, the universe is not working against you. The real reason it's showing up so you can deal with it. And why would there be dissonance? Why would there be dissonance between you and this situation? If you're a vibrational match, like if you have two tuning forks, I'll use it as an example. If you had two of the same tuning forks playing the same frequency, right? There would be no dissonance. Their vibration is exactly the same. Okay, but when you have one that is, this note over here and that note is over there, there's a little bit of dissonance between them because they're not playing the same note. So the same thing for you as a vibrational being. If your spirit is pure and beautiful and good and is vibrating with the frequency of love and unconditional love and creativity and self-belief, and all of those things are flowing, but then this experience comes into your awareness and triggers you to fall back into old patterns and old ways of thinking. Now your vibration has dropped, and now there's dissonance because what you are subscribing to in terms of your beliefs and your thinking patterns and your emotions is no longer in harmony and no longer in alignment with your truth. Okay, so that's all it is. It's just that the vibrations aren't matching, And your job, what you get to do, your gift in that moment is to clear all that out, to become aware of it, first of all, right? You got to become aware of it, and then to create space for it to exist so that you can take some time with it to kind of figure out what it is, usually relating to an old memory or something someone told you a long time ago that you didn't maybe realize you were still holding on to this thing. And then once you create space around it and you say, okay, here's this thing, here's this belief, I no longer want to be a part of this, I no longer want to subscribe to this belief, I no longer want to involve myself or cling to this thinking pattern, you can start letting it go. You start clearing it out, but you have to replace it with something else, right? When we move something out, we create a vacuum. What's going to come in? So we need to prepare ourselves for what's going to fill that vacuum. When we push that energy out of us, we need to have something to backfill it with. So we're going to backfill it with love. I know it sounds cheesy, but that is the answer. It's always the answer. It's so simple. We're going to backfill it with love. We're going to backfill it with forgiveness. We're going to backfill it with compassion, self-compassion. We're going to backfill it with all the reasons why we're loved and lovable and worthy and beautiful and on our path and doing what we need to do. That's what we're going to backfill it with. And when we do that, we rewrite everything and we heal that part of ourselves. And it's a beautiful thing. And we couldn't have done that without that experience of dissonance. So it is a gift. So be thankful for it when it comes. Be grateful for the opportunity to clear it out. And be thankful for being able to heal it and let it go. Because you can. All right. Love you. Bye.